He looks like an ordinary suburban dad who just survived a brutal car wreck. But the federal agents sitting across from him know better. Hutch Mansell is a ghost. A legendary government cleanup man known simply as Nobody. For years after wiping out the Russian mob, he's sitting in a black site interrogation room covered in fresh blood, looking entirely unbothered by the handcuffs binding his wrists. The agents demand answers, but Hutch remains silent because explaining how a simple family vacation turned into a localized war zone requires admitting that he can never truly escape his past. And the bloody truth of how he got here began with a massive, crushing debt that forced him back into the shadows. Destroying a Russian mob empire doesn't come cheap, and Hutch now finds himself buried under a staggering $30 million debt. To keep his family alive, he has traded his boring office job for a relentless cycle of contract hits assigned by a slippery handler known as the Barber. But executing international thugs in the dark isn't just paying the bills. It's actively eroding the fragile normalcy he promised his wife, Becca. Desperate to heal their drifting marriage and give his kids a taste of a real childhood, Hutch abruptly demands a leave of absence to take them on a nostalgic road trip to a small-town amusement park. He genuinely believes that a few days of cotton candy and roller coasters can bury the monster inside him, entirely unaware that he is driving his family directly into a trap. The tourist haven of Plummerville welcomes them with neon signs and the illusion of safety, but peace is a luxury Hutch is never allowed to keep. While inside a crowded arcade, a local bully named Max corners Hutch's teenage son, Brady, violently tearing apart a prize meant for his little sister. Hutch desperately tries to play the role of the passive, submissive father, swallowing his pride even as the park security aggressively throws his family out of the building. But the illusion shatters entirely when a corrupt arcade employee crosses the line, physically striking Hutch's young daughter in the back of the head, and that split second, the quiet suburban father vanishes, and the lethal apex predator takes total control. Hutch doesn't just defend his family. He delivers an absolute masterclass in localized devastation, using heavy stools and plastic trays to shatter the bones of the aggressive employees. This isn't a measured self-defense response. It is the explosive release of a man who has been suppressing his lethal instincts for far too long. While his terrified children see their father as a monster for the first time, Hutch knows this public beatdown has sealed their fate in this isolated town. By defending his daughter, he has inadvertently declared war on the local underworld, drawing the immediate, deadly wrath of the park's corrupt owner, Wyatt, and his dirty sheriff, Abel. The retaliation is immediate, turning a peaceful daytime boat ride into a floating slaughterhouse as Sheriff Abel's armed mercenaries launch a ruthless ambush. Hutch fights like a trapped animal on the open water, weaponizing boat oars and heavy iron anchors to repel the waves of attackers. But the sheer numbers take an agonizing toll. In the chaos of the close-quarters struggle, a flashing blade shears off a portion of Hutch's pinky finger, leaving him bleeding out on the deck. He manages to survive the assault, but a frantic call to his brother Harry reveals an even darker reality. Plummerville isn't just a corrupt tourist town. It's a massive, multi-million-dollar bootlegging artery run by a psychotic, high-level crime boss named Lendina. Lendina does not tolerate failure, and she immediately executes Sheriff Abel for allowing a lone tourist to disrupt her smuggling route. Terrified by her cold-blooded ruthlessness, the park operator Wyatt attempts to buy his way out of the syndicates, only for Lendina to kidnap his own teenage son to force his absolute compliance. Hutch originally plans to gather his family and flee the state to de-escalate the conflict, but when he accidentally stumbles upon the captured boy, his strict moral code prevents him from walking away. He makes the tactical decision to rescue the kid, effectively crossing a point of no return that forces his estranged wife, Becca, to make a terrifying choice. Instead of packing her bags and leaving her blood-soaked husband, Becca looks at the chaos surrounding them and makes the ultimate pivot. She decides to step directly into his violent world. She demands that Hutch fix the mess he started, revealing that the Mansell family is no longer hiding from the darkness. They are going to hunt it together. Backed by his brother Harry and his heavily armed, shotgun-toting elderly father, David, Hutch forms an alliance with a vengeful Wyatt to turn the entire amusement park into a massive kill zone. They spend the night rigging the roller coasters, water slides,